how do you tap into your seventh sense? Most people have known about sixth sense and they get confused about, Nishant, what is the seventh sense all about? So don't worry. I'm here. I'm going to guide you throughout the 3 days to help you understand everything perfectly. The main purpose of this workshop is to help you understand that can you use your power of intuition, third eye, seventh sense in a combination to be able to read a person like a book without using any kind of tarot cards, any tools, any astrological charts, numerological numbers, right? Before I start the workshop, I want to know how many people are actually beginners. That means they have no clue about, you know, energy work, spiritual work, healing work, or people who are already doing something type P, P for professional, B for beginners. Type out your numbers. Type out your, initials. B for beginners, P for professional. Perfect. We have a lot of Bs, by the way. Wow. Okay. So the reason I'm asking this question is because I will then cater to both the audiences to help you understand from scratch in a very layman's terms, right? Perfect. A lot of Bs. So predominantly Bs, about 80% we have Bs, 20% we have Ps. So that's good. And it's great because you are going to understand the basics of all healing modalities, which is aura. Everything works on the principle of aura. But most people only confuse it by just saying it's a positive vibe, negative vibe. How many people have actually experienced it that, that you meet the person for the very first time and you either get a vibe from them, positive vibe, negative vibe, anyone has ever experienced, even the beginners, by the way, right? It's going to be in English. The workshop is going to be in English, right? Perfect. Okay, great. Thank you very much. So most people have done that, right? Why I'm asking this question? Because I want you to understand that we all are intuitive. We all are able to sense energies. But if you do it consciously in a very, very structured manner, you can use this power of your sensitivity to read people like a book and exactly know what they're going through in life so that you can be in a position to guide them, right? Now I want to explain you the difference between, before we begin the session, the difference between sixth sense and seventh sense, right? Sixth sense is like your own intuition, your own guidance system that you have based on your previous knowledge and everything. Now, what is seventh sense? If you are inside the jar, like, the person, the little girl here, can you see what is written outside the jar? Give me a yes or no in the chat box. If you can see the image, let me know in a yes or no that if you're inside the jar, can you see what is written outside the jar? No, right? What do you have to do? You have to come outside the jar and then be able to see what is written outside, right? So that is exactly what seventh sense information or intuition is all about. Sixth sense is talking about third eye chakra, which is your connection with your own sense. What are your mental faculties and how can you use your mental faculties to be able to read people? But that's limited based on your knowledge and logical thinking of the past. But seven senses, when you step out of the jar of your own energy, and then you're able to look at your life as well. Some people complain that, Nishant, we are able to heal people very well, but we are not able to read our energies. We're not able to sort out our own life problems. Has anyone experienced that or maybe felt that, people who are professionals? Because for beginners, it will be a very, very good starting point because you're going to learn something which is going to help you further as well. So that means with this process, you will be able to not only heal your own self, but also others as well, right? Most people are able to do a phenomenal job in healing others, but they have really, really tough job healing themselves. That is exactly what I say, that first job of a healer is to feel and heal themselves and then go out and serve people, because nobody wants to go to a sick healer. Is that correct? Do you resonate with this? Do you resonate with this, that nobody wants to go to a sick healer? When I say sick, it could be a person who's having problems, right? You would obviously want to go for a person who is very much phenomenal in their work. That's exactly what we talk about here, right? Sixth sense is mainly your own judgment based on your gut feelings, your own knowings, past knowledge, your own intuition, what you know about yourself. Seventh sense is a higher power. It's like the higher power, which is coming from a higher energies, which is caused by higher chakra activation. What are the higher chakras? I will tell you today in this workshop as well. That is very much like stepping outside your problems and reading your own life. It's like someone else is communicating to you and telling you the solution to your problems. Hence, it is more powerful because you learn to communicate with higher energies that are outside your aura, like outside your own life situations, so that you can get the solution to your problems, right? That is the reason why most people are inside the jar in their own life problems and they are not able to find out कि मेरी life में solution क्या है. That is why you need someone else to guide you. तभी healers बहुत होते हैं जो कहते हैं कि we're not able to guide ourselves, we're not able to heal ourselves, right? So that is what you learn in this workshop. How do you step out of this jar so that you're able to see clearly, interpret clearly, and get a perfect solution to your own problems? Clear? Perfect, Sachin. Okay, so I forgot about few rules. One rule that I want you to do is please, whenever I ask a question, please respond in the chat box, right? Second rule is I want you to I do not want you to ask questions in between, right? I want you to please note down the slide number and then you write down the questions in your notepads. When we finish for today's session, I will give you time to ask questions. That's number 2. Number 3 is no spamming in between. For people who are saying, I'm an Indian, I cannot speak in English and etc. The entire course is in English. If you want to step out, please step out because the entire marketing, entire advertisements, everything was in English. So I do not know how you got the whole thing that it was in English. It was in Hindi. So it will be, some people are even, writing abusive slangs in the chat box. That's not acceptable. We'll be removing you out of the meeting and we'll be also complaining about you, right? So please don't do that, right? Thank you very much. And if you think that, it's all clear with you, you're ready to move forward, please type yes and let's proceed with the session. Okay. Perfect. So if you have any questions, write down the slide number in your chat box, in your notepads, and then you can ask questions. Okay, perfect. Let's proceed. Because in this entire workshop, there are 3 things that you have to understand. What you're reading is the aura of the person, which is the sum total of their personality, about their life. Which sense are you using? You're not using your 6th sense. You're using your 7th sense. But 7th sense is outside your body. How do you reach there? You have to reach there by activation of your 3rd eye. It is the process which gives you access to your 7th sense communication. That's exactly what you'll be learning entirely in the next 3 days, right? Because 3 days is going to give you solid understanding about your own aura and understand the logically understand this unseen world of energy that we talk about. Discover what is your own intuitive sense. Learn about the quality and quantity of your own aura and how it's creating and impacting your life. Have you ever seen that, so many people go to a lot of astrologers, healers, and, numerologists, they do a lot of remedies, they still fail to get the results. Has anyone experienced that? Yes, no? Yes. Because we have something called an aura defect. And we talk about that in today's session, that what is the root cause? Why don't you get the remedies, or, why don't you get the effect of those remedies, even despite doing it religiously for such a long time? You will understand that as well. The next 3 days are going to be phenomenal in terms of not just spiritually understanding the term, but also practically applying it. It's not a theoretical workshop कि आप आओगे, you just understand the gyan and you go back. No, it's not like that. I believe in practicality of life and simplifying spirituality. So that is why I'm going to give you techniques as well to apply and get the results instantly, by the way, right? In the next 3 days, you'll learn how to shield yourself from negativity and repel the evil eye effects that you're absorbing from people. Discover your own sense of intuition. Discover the 2 hidden chakras for manifesting financial abundance and supercharging your intuition. You'll understand the connection between the 9 planets that people talk about in astrology and numerology, and how it is connected to your own aura, and how, while healing and working on your own aura, you can literally change the way these planets affect you. If someone is going through a negative dasha of a planet, this is going to be an eye-opener session for you. Tap into your own intuitive powers and learn to activate them so that you can use it to heal yourself and others as well. Most importantly, you will learn the professional part of it as well, that how can you become a premium horoscope 3rd eye reader and attract high-paying clients. I want to ask this question to everybody joining this session today right now, that if you meet a stranger for the very first time, the stranger has no clue about your life, but The stranger is super sensitive and an aura reader. You don't know about him yet, but the person is able to tell you everything about your life without asking you anything. Would you trust this person? Yes or no?
Yes, I can trust.
Will you trust this person? Yes or no? Yes, anybody who is meeting you for the first time, if they are able to tell you everything about your life without asking you anything, you should trust that person because the person is sensitively sensitively reading your energy and is able to tell you something which you are feeling right now. That builds your rapport. That's exactly what I want every participant who chooses to become, to that level, to be able to do that, right? To be able to read people like a book and guide them in the right direction. Because only when you're able to read people and guide them, tell them this is a problem, only then you'll be able to be confident in your readings. Otherwise, it just be like fluky. Aapko health problems hai, relationship problem hai, money problem. Every person has it in the world, right? So don't be a reader, don't be a healer who just claims that we can heal people just by saying these three things: health problem, relationship problem, money problem. If you are really doing intuitive work, you should be able to tell them exactly what the problem is, kahan se aa rahi hai, kab se aa rahi hai, kiske saath aa rahi hai. That is exactly what you learn here, right? Not just theoretical, as I said, practical demonstration of how do you measure your own aura strength, your own spiritual powers, sense your aura. How do you impact your aura to influence other people, other objects in a positive manner? How do you protect yourself? How do you clear the negativity that you've picked up? In fact, I would like to say a very good statement here, which is 70% of your life problems are not yours, actually. You've picked it from people. And today you will actually understand how can you get rid of at least 70% of your life problems just by following a simple 2-minute process of cleaning your energy, right? Are you ready for that? Are you ready for that? Great. Perfect. Great. So thank you very much for responding. I love asking questions because you know what? This is the only way for me to communicate to you. I will not be opening up the channel to ask anybody to communicate because then it becomes a mess. So that is why I really want you to pay attention to the question that I ask, because that gives me an like clear picture that are you really listening to my words and the presentation or not, right? So according to you, what do you think is the number one skill required to excel in this field of healing? Do you think it's knowledge of the subject? Do you think it's logical understanding? Do you think it's intuition? Do you think it's the power to differentiate between intuition and thought? Do you think it's activated intuition or activated third eye power? Or do you think it's all of the above? What do you think is the answer? All, intuition, intuition, intuition. Everybody says all. Exactly. Not just one, you need to have the activated third eye power so you can step away from your life and be an observer and be able to tap into your seventh sense. Only then you will get the intuition, and intuition can come to anyone, but the power to differentiate between intuition and thought, that is what you have to learn. And also for that, you need to have logical understanding of the entire subject clearly so that you can even work with people who are totally logical, and you can also make sense of your intuition in the right manner so that you're not giving them random lame remedies to anyone without understanding why you're giving, right? So for people who are totally beginners, who have not started their spiritual journey and want to understand about the science of intuition, you are in the right spot. But for people who are already professionals, some people said we are intermediate level, it is a great add-on for you, because if you find it hard to give accurate predictions or reading to your clients, and you have to use certain tools like tarot card readers, astrologers, numerologists, numbers, etc., this will be a great add-on, because this will help you to just become phenomenal in your work of healing and just be able to build that confidence between you and your client that, what, I can understand your situation, right? Because my goal for you is simple. I want you to get a scientific understanding of these invisible forces that are actually controlling your life. If you know it, you can control your life. But if you do not know it, they control your life, right? Help you understand the hidden power of your third eye and concepts of logical intuition. That is the second thing. Every person either thinks ki logic aana chahiye ya intuition aana chahiye, but you have to have both together. You should logically be able to understand the science and potential of reading people's aura. Because this is the most underrated skill. Most people talk about aura as just ki upar se, surface level say positive vibes or say negative vibes. But here you will learn that, what, aura is the blueprint of your life. It's the signature. It is the entire fundamental that how your life is working. Whether life is working with you or against you, your aura decides that. You'll also learn how do you protect yourself from negativity from others and heal yourself so that you can reduce up to 70% of your current life problems, right? By the end of the 3 days, you'll be able to measure your own aura strength, clear the negativity that you've picked up from people, protect yourself from harmful intentions of people surrounding you, influence others in a very positive manner, and we'll also do 2 mind over matter experiments. I've written one, but we'll do 2 experiments on day 2 and day 3 to help you understand that you are more powerful than what you think about yourself, right? But before you think, okay, what gives you the power to tell us, Nishan? What gives you this, thing that you're teaching us this? Is it okay if I share a brief about my journey? That why should you listen to me? Why am I really advocating the whole science of aura reading for you? Yeah, is it okay, guys? Perfect. So I'll be brief about it. So first question that I'd like to ask is, how many have heard about the temple called Vaishno Devi Temple in northern India, Jammu and Kashmir region? Right? Okay, perfect. So I actually happen to be the one of the temple, the direct descendants of the Pandit Ji who found the caves of Ma Vaishno Devi temple. So the story is about 800 years back. So Baba Sridhar and Mata Salochana Devi, so who are like my great 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 grandfather and grandmother, they got the darshan of Devi and they were instructed to find and discover the caves of Ma Vaishno Devi temple, which is now a very famous temple all over the world. So since then, the entire family lineage has a gift that every elder son of the family will have the gift of communicating with the goddess during a specific time of the year, which is like a muhurat. So it's not just not me. I'm blessed to be a part of this ancestral lineage where we have been given the gift of channeling the gods and goddesses and communicating to them, right? It's just not me, my uncles, my dadaji, my, like entire family tree of the father's lineage are blessed with this ability, but they do it in a very ritualistic way in a religious ceremony once in a year. So at the age of 16, when I had my first awakening experience, spiritual awakening experience, I realized that, what, I was able to read people's aura. This was an ability that came to me naturally. And since I was doing my engineering back then, I wanted to understand that, am I going crazy, or is it like really something natural phenomenon that's happening, supernatural phenomenon that's happening with me? So I began my research and began doing a lot of, experimenting about what I'm seeing. And every time I used to make a prediction about people, it used to be absolutely correct. People were shocked about how am I able to tell them what's happening in their life. So that was my aha moment, or the starting point of my spiritual journey at the age of 16. Right. So as I was doing my research, I was also learning a lot of my healing, you can say healing techniques, to be able to control this ability, because back then I had no teacher who could help me with understanding what this aura is all about, right? But fast forward in 2009, I started teaching people because I found my own method, my own R&D worked for myself, worked on myself. I found my own method and developed my own system called Aurascope Reading Protocol, which helps a person to literally understand intuition and be able to tap into the intuitive energies so that they can also read auras. So I've been teaching that since 2009. I've got awards for the same. I've done a lot of, stage shows as well in terms of teaching people, demonstrating the power of mind over matter. Recently, and it's just not that spiritual people are interested in this whole subject. Recently, I was invited by AIIMS Rishikesh Hospital, to understand how can we use aura imaging in the medical team, medical field, to be able to diagnose the problems before they come in the physical body. That because that is how the science of aura works. Everything that happens in your physical life is going to first appear as a vibration. So it's just not the physical world that we talk about, is the metaphysical as well, right? So we are more than flesh and blood. So even the scientific community is now, raising their energy and, understanding that there's more than flesh and blood. And if we can understand aura, we could actually use it to prevent illnesses, right? I've written books on the subject. I've written conferences. These are a couple of public healing sessions that I used to do. And I've been teaching people how to do that since 2019. I've been teaching it online. And that is still phenomenal that people are able to do it. In fact, we have a lot of people, who have been able to attend the workshops and able to do the reading and now are professional readers, right? How that works, I will tell you that later. But why am I interested to teach you this is because like people who said that, they can sense energies. Even I could sense a lot of energies when I was young, at the age of 16, when I started off. Everybody labeled me as a highly sensitive person and always thought that's a curse, because every time I used to do a reading, I used to fall sick. I had a lot of problem with energetic contamination. I was absorbing people's suffering because I wanted to help people, irrespective whether it was causing harm on me or to my family. I thought, what, I'm meant to serve. I want to heal people. And I often fall sick. I could not differentiate between intuition and my own thoughts. I had a lot of self-doubt, right? Only because I had no mentor who could actually make sense of the experiences that I was going through. How many people have actually experienced this, um, that, you are doing some energy work and you fall sick, and you're doing some healing work, you fall sick, or probably if people who are beginners, you go out in a meeting or, go to a party, then you come back, you fall sick. In simple terms, कहते हैं, नजर लग गई है आपको, right? Right, so that's exactly, and a lot of healers actually end up creating the same problems that they're healing in their own life, right? So this is exactly what happens, because the child in me want to accomplish something, that I want to understand what my family's been talking about. Everybody has a spiritual gift. I want to understand what is my gift, because I could see auras. That's a great gift, but who will tell me how do you channelize this energy, right? Most people talk about science ki ek aura imaging system hota, but nobody in India at that time had the aura imaging system, right? So I wanted to become super confident. So that is why I started investing my own money, whatever little pocket money that I got, and whatever money that I got from my first salary, to buy aura imaging systems to help me understand myself first. That, what, will I be able to really tell this to people that, it's actually science that we're talking about. It's just not a mumbo jumbo concept ki hame believe karna padega, then it will work. Whether you believe in it or not, your body is creating electromagnetic field, which is called aura. And as we progress further in the workshop, we'll understand what I'm talking about, right? Because the main problem that I was encountering back then was lack of scientific evidence. Most healers, spiritual gurus, but discuss about intuition, but nobody taught me how do you activate that. They talked about third eye, but nobody taught me how to activate it. Aura healing, and gave vague scientific theories which had zero evidence in the real scientific world. Because when I got the imaging system, then I realized कि जो बोल रहे हैं तो कुछ है ही नहीं ऐसा, right? So that is why I wanted to understand myself first, and then be able to be in a position to help others. And most of the sciences that we talked about, whether you talk about um, any healing modality, anything, everybody gave away the power to outside forces. I'm not against anyone. I'm just clearing one point here. When I say giving away powers to planets, numbers, genetics, environment, Vastu, saying that these forces control us. But you know what? You have to realize the main purpose of human birth is not to give away power to someone else. The main power is to realize that our God-given powers are within us, and we are not meant to live as a human. We are meant to live as a soul. So everything is in our control, provided we know how to tap into this energy. How many people believe that, what, we are spiritual beings having a temporary human experience, and not human beings having a temporary spiritual experience? How many people believe that? Just type in me, yes, I, whatever works with you, right? All I want you to is get a sense of, are we on the right page, same page or not, right? And I believe yes, because I'm getting all the yeses. Great, awesome, guys, right? So 2009, what finally worked for me, by the way, this was a group of meditation. I used to, conduct a lot of meditation. We used to do a lot of rituals and, processes, meditative rituals together. So it was called Divinity back then. This was our group leader. So she was heading the group, so all the spiritual experiences I had were with this group of my friends. So I had to experiment with hundreds of healing modalities, invest over 4 years of my own, time, energy, and money trying to figure out what works and what does. And ultimately, my own R&D worked to create my own modules, because I believe in integrating science and spirituality. And that's been a USP of my programs. So since 2009, I've been teaching aura reading, so that, everybody can actually tap into this energy by learning the science of it, so that it's more refined. It gives you quicker results and faster results by following certain protocols. Protocols is like, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and you get the results at step 5. So everybody who goes through the training will be able to tap into it and learn the protocols. And when you apply the protocols, you get the same result. Very much like McDonald's ka franchisee. Step 1, step 2, step 3, perfect burger. Similarly, I don't want you to deviate to the process. If you follow the processes of the protocol with the right recipe, you will get the right taste every time. Make sense? Yes or no? Because once I did everything, I realized, you know what, जो मेरी sensitivity है ना, it's not a curse, it's actually a blessing, because the sensitivity allows me to tap into your energy and feel life, live life, experience life like you are living in your life. It gives you a momentary, you can say insight, a sneak peek about your life, so that I can read you better and I can help you better, because only when I understand what you're going through, I'll be able to help you, isn't it? Yes and no, right? And that's exactly why I decided that I want to demystify the myths around aura. Teach people that, you know what, it's a spiritual field, but it also has a scientific knowledge, scientific abilities, scientific process be it that you can learn to tap into your own third eye and, activate your spiritual powers. Show them the scientific evidence using systems, logical instruments to understand intuition, tap into intuition on demand. Most people think about intuition, there's like, jab aana hoga aayegi, we have no control over it. That's usually 99% of people. But you have to understand intuition is a muscle. It can be developed, right? And the biggest reason, even in Sabse Alawa bhi, the biggest reason is I've seen so many people, so many phenomenal healers who wanted to do the job of healing, work of healing, not job, but work of healing. They wanted to help people, serve people, but they were not able to promote themselves, because a lot of healers, spiritual people, by the way, have problem with asking money, having a problem with marketing themselves, right? They have a problem with asking for money because they deserve that, you know what, money is different from spirituality, right? And that is why they do not have the financial freedom. They do not have financial independence. They get dependent on their family, and they have to leave the work of healing and go back to their old jobs, because they thought they'll be able to sustain themselves financially. But because they're not able to sustain themselves financially, they have to go back to the old jobs. So that is why I created an entire program to help people, especially women, by the way, to discover their spiritual gifts and be able to monetize them so that they can serve and heal people without sacrificing their own personal desires or ambitions. Because a lot of people sacrificing their own personal desires. Okay, we want to help people, but we don't know how. Has anybody experienced that? That you have a trouble with money, you have difficulty in asking for money, you have difficulty connecting with the energy of money, or even voicing your own opinion about money, promoting yourself as a challenge for you. Yes, 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 everybody, you're in the right spot, because we're on the same page. Even I had challenges, right? Because you know what, why I'm talking about money so much, because money is an energy, right? Like everything else in the world. And money in the right hands, like you and me, is going to bring more peace in the world. Money in the wrong hands cause more destruction in the world, more wars in the world. So hence it is our moral responsibility to be rich, right? So that we can serve others with the best use of talents that we have, and also have fun in life, right? Why should all the healers be serious? You should have fun in your life. And for having experiences, good experience in life, whether you want to take out your family for dinner or maybe vacations, you need money, right? So right now, if you're with me, raise your hand and just say, I pledge to be abundant. Just say, I pledge to be abundant, and type yes in the chat box. It's like collective energy that we're tapping in. So everything that you say and do right now is going to have more chances of fruition, right? So that's your personal pledge to yourself, that I want to find a way to be abundant, whether it be this, that, or whatever it takes. I want to become abundant. Financially abundant is the key here, right? You get rich first, then whatever you want to do, it's up to you. Clear? And horoscope reading gives you all the three things. It will give you the understanding of your natural levels of intuition, polish your skills of being a third eye reader. You will learn the skill sets required to become a great reader who can read people like a book. That's the phenomenal thing. And also at the same time, it'll help you understand how do you create a good income for yourself by differentiating yourself as an expert rather than being a generalist. Because people would love to know about themselves. People love to know about things about themselves and also the reason why they're suffering in life. And if you can be the reason, if you can be the hope, right, then they would love to give you whatever it takes, right, to find a solution to your problems. How many people feel that if you have a life-threatening disorder or a problem or a challenge, you would actually want to go to an expert who can solve you the problem rather than going to a generalist who is just around the corner of your house? Type in E for expert, G for generalist. How many people will go to the expert, right? उस टाइम पे आपको लगेगा कि you cannot afford the expert, but if it's a life-threatening disorder, if you prioritize your life more than your money, you will find a way, isn't it? Right? Because it is a life-threatening disorder. That's exactly what you have to find your expertise in. I don't want you to be just another healer in the market who's doing astrology, numerology, vastu, feng shui, healing, reiki, past life regression, this. It's so confusing because you're doing everything. It's like khichdi. Nobody wants that to, eat khichdi daily, right? We all need an expert. What are you really expert in doing and serving? That's exactly what you have to become as expert in your field. And how do you become an expert? You will learn that. Make sense? How many people want to be an expert? And finding your, whether you want to be a health healing expert, spiritual healing expert, money healing expert, relationship healing expert, you have to find your expertise. Only then you'll be able to, create a market for yourself, differentiate yourself, right? So even if you're not intuitive at all, you can still do it by learning the logics and developing your spiritual abilities and powers. For people who are already intuitive, you can do it a little faster. So that means your beginners here, they will be able to learn the concepts and do it in the next 5 days, for example. People who are already intuitive, they can do it in the next 4 days. So that is the only difference in the whole process to help you understand. Kai logon ko laga ki, we are totally beginners. Will I be able to do it? Yes. People already doing a lot of work, you'll be able to do it even more deeper. So your level of accuracy will become more deeper because you're already doing something as an add-on to your existing skills, right? So if you're already a healer, astrologer, numerologist, or an occult practitioner, you'll be able to give your clients even better results because now you're empowering them by literally making them understand the power of their own energy, the power of free will, that you have the power to change your life. Rather than giving your power outside to someone else, you are understanding that, what, this is the root cause of my problems. Horoscope gives you the power to change your energy to help you understand yourself, and you realize that your energy is creating your reality. If you're not happy with your reality, what you need to do is change your energy. That's it. Clear? In the next 3 days, you'll be learning a lot of stuff. But before I tell you and bore you with the whole thing, ki kya padhenge hum, let me just jump onto the content of day one, right? Let's start the day one session, right? These are 3 principles that you have to really keep in mind through the entire 3 days. And if you keep in mind throughout your healing journey, spiritual journey, it will be phenomenal for you only. Aapka hi benefit hai, right? This was given to us by Nikola Tesla, probably the greatest mind that ever walked on the planet Earth. He discovered electricity. He wanted everybody to get free electricity, but the government wanted us to pay for it. तो उन्होंने इसको बैन कर दिया, इसको जेल में डाल दिया, इसकी रिसर्च पेपर्स को जला दिया, इसकी लैब जला दी, so that everybody cannot get access to free electricity, right? He said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Energy is everything. Everything is energy. Everything in this universe is energy that vibrates. That means it moves at particular frequency. Frequency, speed. कितनी frequency में move कर रही है चीज को speed कहते हैं simple terms में, right? So that means you and me are energy. Even sound that you hear, even the colors that you see are all energy, and so is our body. एक पानी को, if I have water, I raise the vibration of that water by putting it on stove. My heat energy मैंने दे दी पानी को, it becomes vapor. I cannot see the vapor, but I can feel it with my hand as steam, right? Similarly, if it is water and I condense it by putting it in freezer, I slow down the vibration. It becomes matter, it becomes solid as ice. So that is exactly what Einstein said, E is equal to mc square, which means matter and energy are interconvertible. That means if I again Put that solid ice cube on stove, it becomes liquid, then become vapor. I can change the states of energy by just giving and receiving, giving away or giving it power. Similarly, the body that you have, physical body, is densest layer of matter. इसके ऊपर भी bodies हैं that you cannot see, but can you say that it doesn't exist? You'll be foolish if you believe that, right? Because we have air energy body, which is our mind and soul. We cannot see it, but we can sense it, right? Let me give you clear example of what I mean by that. What do you think is the common thing in this picture, these two pictures? What do you think is the common thing? Light, halo, 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 aura. That's exactly what the scientific community began understanding ki no matter whichever religion that you pick up, सबके आसपास, सर के आसपास एक halo दिखाई देता है. There's a halo around the head, right? Whether you talk about Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, any religion that you pick up, all the religious leaders, gods and goddesses had a halo around the head. So they wanted to understand, is it just like a spiritual concept or is there science behind it? And what they discovered was, this is the aura that every person has all around the body, because this aura is the light produced by our cells. Whenever the cell vibrates, it produces electricity. Wherever there's electricity, it produces magnetic field. So our aura is all around us, which is called the electromagnetic field, right? But the maximum thing was happening, maximum energy is happening in the brain, because brain is producing electricity sparks all the time because you're thinking a lot, right? So people who are thinking beyond the normal human capacity are having a stronger aura around the head. So basically, it was a symbolic way to represent that these people who have a halo around the head are thinking beyond their normal human body. They are thinking for the world. They are being guided by divine light, right? But you have to realize that every person has an aura around themselves. And aura is just not like a halo around the head. It is like this. It is in layers, left, right, front, back, like this. Like a bar magnet has an aura, it has a magnetic field. Like our earth has an aura, which is the electromagnetic field. This invisible field is so strong that it is preventing earth from moving around in the galaxy. It is acting like a filter, protective filter, to stop solar radiations from entering Earth's atmosphere. Otherwise, entire Earth can be burnt in just 6 minutes. Entire, it will be fried up, right? It is powerful enough to keep us and holding us in the right space so that, we don't hit across these different meteorites, asteroids. It is invisible, but more powerful than the visible. That is exactly what our aura is also like. It is invisible, we cannot see it, but it is more powerful than our physical body, because its main job is to protect us from all negativity, danger, and stress that is being created in the world outside. If your aura is weak, your energy strength of protection is weak, then what happens? Your immunity becomes weak, because aura is just not one energy. It is sum total of 5 bodies. It is called Panchakosha in Ayurveda. If to just help you understand aura in a deeper level, I'm giving a visual representation, but doesn't mean कि aura ऐसा ही होता है, इसी colors में होता है. There are so many colors of the aura. We'll talk about that as well later. But right now, understand, if you have a physical body, right, there's an energy which is half an inch above your physical body. That is called health level of the aura, which is called health body or the physical body. It is kind of the red orange color that you see here. This layer contains the information about all the health of your physical organs. Are you healthy? Are you unhealthy? Do you have a disease? Everything is in the aura of the organs, right? Second body that you see is the yellow layer, which is the above the physical health. We have something called emotions, emotional body, which is containing all the emotional feelings that you've ever experienced in life, that you are experiencing right now, which are connected to what? Mental belief systems, your mental thought patterns, your mental experiences, traumas, behavior. Everything is in the mental body, which is the third layer, the green layer. If you see, green and yellow को mix करके हम क्या बोलते हैं? Mind, mental emotional body together, because they cannot be a thought without a feeling. They cannot be a feeling without a thought. Both have to be together, right? Then we have the fourth body called spiritual body, which is very much like the blue energy that you see here. Spiritual is the karmic body. Everything that is happening in your life is happening because of karmic reason, by the way. That is the root cause of most of the problems, right? So everything that has happened to you, your life purpose, your life challenge, your karmic challenges, everything is happening at the aura level. And if you can read the spiritual body of a person, you can actually literally read why karmically they are actually suffering sometimes, right? Why they're consistently, having this repetitive karmic patterns, unki solution hi nahi mil raha unko. That is spiritual body. Fifth body is called energetic body, called purple layer that you see. It is the future because if you see, it is very much like the skin of my hand. अंदर से देखा है तो सबसे लास्ट है, बट बाहर से देखा है सबसे पहली है ये. It is the first layer of contact with the outside world. That means anything and everything that happens in your life has to appear as a vibration in the purple layer. And then it becomes denser, becomes from purple to blue, from blue to green, green to yellow, yellow to red, and then you start experiencing the problems in your life, positive be, negative be. And in सबको पांचों को इकट्ठा करने के लिए, to keep them intact together, we have a transparent layer which is called aura, right? So aura is just a transparent layer which is containing all the 5 bodies together. Clear, guys? Yes or no? If you have a question, write down in notepads. But if it's clear, give me a yes. Right? So aura reading is all about understanding all the 5 bodies and reading them one by one so that you're able to diagnose and pinpoint health issues, mental belief systems, emotional issues, spiritual problems, and then what is going to happen in future as well. Everything can be known in the aura. Can be seen in this picture too? We'll talk about questions. All the questions by the end, guys. I will not be entertaining any questions, right? So if I have to connect the innermost body, the red energy, to the outermost body, what do? We pass a cord, or you can say create a channel between all the 5 bodies. That's exactly what a chakra is. Chakras are the beams, or you can say energy centers, which cross through diagonally, horizontally, vertically. They cross through all the energy bodies so that we are able to connect and pass on the information between physical to mental, mental to emotional, emotional to spiritual, spiritual to astral, and so on. The 5 bodies can communicate within each other. Imagine there are 5 devices. This is the common wire. अगर वायर में करंट होगा, all the 5 devices are powered. That's called balance chakra. जितना काम करना चाहिए उतना काम कर रही है. If the wire has low current, the chakras will not be able to function. The machines, the devices will not function properly. That is a problem. If there's too much current in the wire, then it can damage the chakra system because now so much voltage is coming in. That is called overworking chakra. And there's no current flowing. It's called blocked chakra. And any problem comes in your life, it can come because the functioning of the 5 bodies are not perfectly aligned. And they have some chakra blockages or aura blockages. Most people talk about 7 chakra, but here we talk about 9 chakra model because, as I said, we are more than flesh and blood. 7 chakra model pata kyun karte hum? The reason is because 7 chakras are exactly the 7 endocrine glands that we have in our body. But we talked about that we have to grow beyond our physicality of life. That is why we introduced the concept of 9 chakras, because 7 chakra model is incomplete. People who are into astrology, numerology might say that, 9 is a number of completion. We talk about 9 planets, and these 9 planets actually affect us, right? And how do they affect us? You will know and understand this. 9 chakras represent the 9 planets as well. The soul star chakra, which is on top of your head, beyond the physical body, this is the activation of 7th sense, by the way. It is like divine intuition, connection, and spiritual alignment, more like a spiritual GPS, so that you can heal people without absorbing their pain, without absorbing their karmic problems. And it is often blocked by doing wrong spiritual practices, methods, or techniques. Doubt and fear-based signs, like universe is telling you, Nishant, this book can heal you, this book can guide you in the right direction. But I say, you know what? No, I need further guidance. मुझे और guidance चाहिए, मुझे और message चाहिए, मुझे और sign चाहिए that you know what this book can give him. अब universe थोड़ा ना मेरे सामने book खोल के रख देगा, मुझे पढ़ के भी सुनाएगा. It cannot happen, right? I have to do the effort because universe is not an energy who's going to appear in front of me. Universe will work through each other, through us human beings. It will give us messages, guidance, direction through human beings, through nature, right? If you're trusting bookish knowledge more than your intuition, then it gets blocked. If you're not in alignment with your own soul, that you feel, you know what, I have some spiritual powers, I have some spiritual abilities, but I'm not polishing them, then it gets blocked because it's like the universe is telling you that, you know what, you have a gift, but you're not polishing that gift. You're just living life like under a rock, then it gets blocked. Make sense? एक हाथ को बहुत टाइम तक यूज नहीं करोगे, हाथ काम करना बंद कर देगा.
डाउन पेमेंट तो
That's exactly what a chakra does.
डाउन पेमेंट दा कंपनी छाते फिर हफ्सा
Make sense? Yes or no? Yes. How many people believe that their soul star chakra might be blocked?
याला हेंग तोड़ से
Yes. Now wait for the earth star
Chance
chakra,
never
because
comes twice.
that is most problematic in most of the spiritual people, by the way. Earth star chakra. Most people talk about root chakra as the chakra for money. Most people have heard about this. कि root chakra होता है money के लिए. But let me ask you a question. एक plant है, there's a plant who has a strong roots, very strong roots, and you plant it into a soil which has zero nutrition, right? And you give the right condition, right environment, पानी भी दे रहे हो, sunlight भी दे रहे हो, will the plant grow if the soil has zero nutrition? Tell me, yes, no. No, because plant needs energy. No matter how much stronger roots high उसके पास हो, जितनी condition दे दो आप, it will not do. That's exactly what most people do in life. They think that, you know, कि action is the key to success. But you have to see alignment is the key to success. If I put the same plant in a soil which is very, very nutrient dense, give it half water, half sunlight, they take very hardly any care about it, will the plant grow now if the soil is very fertile? Yes, because it is, the roots are already strong, roots are already doing the job, but now they do the work faster because it is getting the support, right? Support of planet Earth, invisible nutrition. That's exactly what Earth Star Chakra is. It is a divine power of our soul to manifest money. It is a connection with Mother Earth, which is very invisible nutrition that we all need. It gives you the power to take the right steps in the right direction to manifest things. It's like working less but earning more of your return. It is often blocked by confusion, overthinking, not doing the right things in discipline, trying to do things by yourself and wasting time trying to figure out. That means, you know what, किसी ने already एक process बना दी है of becoming an intuitive, for example, but I'm just trying to, you know, spend hours and hours into meditation, thinking that one fine day I will become intuitive, I will find a way to heal myself. If somebody is already teaching that, why don't you learn from that? Why do you have to reinvent the wheel? That's my question.
Okay,
Why do you have to reinvent the wheel? Anyone interested in reinventing the wheel? Or are you interested in making use of that wheel and reaching your destination as soon as possible and achieving your goals, achieving your tasks?
Okay,
right? It's about us trusting yourself. It's about trusting the universe, right? Scientists wanted to understand that जब हम aura की बात करें, chakras की बात करें, can we photograph it? So they developed systematic way of cameras. 1939 में एक new camera launch हुआ था, which was called Kilin camera. It was the first technology that was used to measure aura, but the limitation was anything that was on the smaller plate can only be photographed. So you can see aura of a leaf, the hands, the key. This is just a graphic visualization to help you see how the aura of the health layer looks like 1 inch above the head. Right? If you see the vibrant health for children, it is strong aura, strong immunity. Low vibration, low immunity. Then the scientists wanted to take the second generation. They said, you know what? Can we see something inside the body using aura power? This system was developed called polyinterference photography. A lot of people mistakenly use it for aura, vastu imaging, which is not the right way to use it because this is a medical grade system. इसके अंदर the aura technology is used to see inside the body very much like X-ray. जहाँ body in the person has to be in bare minimum clothes. जहाँ aura की जो light होती है, there's a particular light that you have to use, a particular angle of the camera that you have to use. Whenever you use the light on the body, wherever the body is sick, it will absorb the light. You see all these patterns of congestion, the red, blue aura. Right? Wherever the aura of the body is healthy, it will reflect the light that you're sending. So you'll see all the patterns like green energy, white energy, green energy. So wherever you see reflection, you see greens and positive energy. This is a very good system to use if you are a medical professional. It is used in Sir Ganganam Hospital in New Delhi to see what is happening inside the body, very much like an X-ray does. But the condition is very minimum clothes, एक सही एंगल होना चाहिए आपकी हाथों का, आपकी टांगों का, कोई शैडो नहीं होनी चाहिए, कोई और लाइट नहीं होनी चाहिए, आपका कैमरा का एंगल सही होना चाहिए. That is our criterias. But some people use it in Vastu, just randomly walking into your house, clicking pictures, converting it to the software, and show you this is negativity. The next day when they apply their technologies or healings or जो भी यंत्र install करते, they'll open up the windows. Now there's more light coming in. So obviously what you see is yellows and orange and white colors, and then say, oh, see what has a change happened in your aura of the house because of the yantras and pujas. Wrong practice. Make sure that you don't do it if you are one of the participants doing it. Clear? I'm not against you, I'm just saying use the right technology in the right order to be able to do the right purpose. Okay? Make sense? Yes or no? Has anybody seen these types of images? Great. Third generation system is biofeedback system, in which they say, you know what, aura is connected to your emotions. If my emotion goes up and down, it will create an impact on my physical body parameters like health, heart rate variability, skin temperature. कहते हैं ना डर के मारे ठंडा पड़ गया इंसान, become cold feet हो गया है. That is exactly because our body is connected to our emotions. Our aura is connected to our body. Right? So I saw the system and I took my aura imaging system. It is, you have to place your hand on this. I'm sorry for this. It's a little band that you wear in the wrist. It will also calculate the same parameters and show you in real time what is happening in your aura. In fact, on day 3, I will show you a live demonstration about the energy. The good thing about this aura system is कि जो मैंने aura third generation से fourth generation से किया, it was same energy. That is purple, white. Purple is basically the color of spirituality, and white is the color of highest frequency. And in this workshop, I'll also teach you what are the different frequency levels so that you can change your energy wherever you are to level 3 vibration, which is your aura can also turn white if you use the right protocols, right? Are you ready to listen to this? How do you turn your aura into pure white energy? Right? I'll keep on asking questions because I don't want people to just go down, because my energy depends on your energy. Simple. If you go down, we all go down. Right? I want all the people to respond. All the people who are not responding, we call them zombies. Right? Okay. So you have to understand one thing, that aura is a vibration which can be influenced by thoughts, by emotional feelings, your living environment, your personality, your belief systems, your chakras, and influence of cosmic forces, which are the 9 planets and the numbers that we talk about, right? To help you understand this, Dr. David Hawkins created this consciousness map. He said, you know what? The numbers that you see here are very much like radio frequencies. The words, the emotion that you see here are very much like songs being played on a radio, right? If your frequency is 20 hertz, your mind is playing all the thoughts about why you should be ashamed of yourself, because that is a frequency of shame. If it's 30 hertz, it is going to play all the songs about guilt, कि आपको guilty होना चाहिए, किसी की गलती किसी की भी होगी, आप guilt अपने ऊपर ले लोगे, because that is a frequency of guilt, right? And all upper frequencies are all about love, joy, harmony, peace. So now my question to you is, if you're not happy with the frequency that you're being played, that is being played on your radio of life, what will you do? If you're not happy with the frequency that is being played on the radio of life, your life, change it. Great. Second question. If you just have the intention of changing it without understanding the technology of how to operate this high-tech radio, will you be able to change it? So a lot of people say intention kafi hai ji, intention kafi. Intention kafi nahi hai. Intention is just 50%. It's just like awareness, that you are aware of it. I want to change it. But you need to also understand the science of changing it, right? How do you move from 20 to 30 or 20 to 500? It is the science. The process is also important. Action is also important, right? So in the physical world that we live in, there's no action. There's no reaction without action. So you need to take action, then get the reactions. Clear? Perfect. So belief Energy, intention alone is not enough. You have to do the action. Ultimately, everything influences our energy, right? Tell me one thing. Can you change your family members, the way they think, your colleagues, your
Change outside
friends,
or inside.
outside
Outside का
forces,
चलने का outside.
government, bosses,
Outside का
colleagues?
ज़्यादा ले जाना है वहाँ तो कारण
वास्तु
कोई
चेंज
सी
कर सकते हो हर घर का जहां पे भी आप जाओगे. Can you keep on controlling the planets all the time? कि किसी ना किसी planet की आप रेमेडी करते रहो. कई बार आप न्यूमरोलॉजी फॉलो करोगे, यू कीप ऑन चेंजिंग नंबर्स कि आज मेरा नंबर ये है, आज मेरा नंबर वो है. Can you keep on living your life like this? Or do you think it's easier to control our own energy? Which is because ultimately everything outside, चाहे वास्तु हो, astrology remedies हो, numerology numbers हो, it is going to affect my energy. So if I work on my energy, that will be the best, because that is what is creating my reality. What do you think is what is easier to control, outside or inside? O for outside, I for inside. What do you think is easier?
inside. Controlling inside is more important.
Inside? Exactly. Because if you keep on giving your power forces to outside forces, then you're in the victim mindset, of course. Sorry to say that. But if you said that, you know what, I realize that I can change it, you're claiming your power back, and you fully understand that, you know what, you can understand these invisible forces and make them work in your favor only when you understand it. That's called champion mindset. थोड़ा time लगेगा समझने में, but can you do it? Of course, yes. It's very much like changing the radio station. When I was doing my research, a lot of people used to come to me, and we had to, you know, record all the things in our head, ki kaun si frequency kis time pe hai and everything. So what I did was I entirely created a different model of understanding called the 4 vibrational levels, called how to wow vibrational frequency chart, right? If you divide the entire band of 0 to 1000 hertz into 4 bands specifically, level 0 to level 3. Level 0 is a struggle mode when the person is constantly confused and depressed. At this level, the person does not want to do anything in life. They're filled with lethargy. वो कहते हैं हमें तो कुछ चेंज नहीं कर सकता, कोई भी हमें हेल्प नहीं कर सकता. Nobody can help us. They're totally in the victim consciousness. They are stuck there. Level 1 is a little better. The survival mode पे kick in होता है. They say कि we cannot live our life like this. They start watching videos. They start reading books. They start learning things to people. You know, watching, going to healers and doctors and therapists, and you know, taking some help. But whenever a person who's helping them gives them a little homework to do, कि आप ये करके आइएगा, they will not do any action. Because level 1, they are happy about कि we are making a progress in life by doing something,
Training na magana
but they're not doing what is
lagi.
required. They're doing a feel good factor, which is थोड़ा book पढ़ ली, YouTube motivation video देख ली, meditation की आंखें बंद करके आपने sound music सुन लिया. But when it requires you to do the work that it takes to become a better person, the physical action required, you will not do that. That's level 1, right? You need to know your levels. You don't have to tell me, right? Just know it, your level. आपको कौन सा level है. Level 2 is hard work, and you start doing the work. 7, because you're doing action कर रहे हो तो reaction भी मिलेगा, right? 70% of the time things will start working out for you, and other time it will not work for you because you're still working on the symptom level. कभी result मिला कभी नहीं मिला, but you're happy with that कि कुछ तो मिल रहा है मुझे. Sometimes I'm getting results. That's level 2. Level 3 is when you understand the root cause of the problem and your aura turns pure white, which is alignment mode. Universe work with you, through you, and synchronicity starts to happen. Intuition starts to happen. Abundance starts to happen. Growth starts to happen. It's like everything fall in the right order. आपको मूवी जाने का मन कर रहा है, एक किसी का फ्रेंड का फोन आ गया, लेट्स गो फॉर अ मूवी, द एग्जैक्ट थिंग दैट यू वांटेड. You want some money, someone gives you a order. You know, if you're in business, you get the money. Manifestations start to happen like this. It's like the universe is having your back. That's a phenomenal way to live because everything is going to work for you, right? Make sense? Level 3. Okay, so you know your levels now. But the best thing is, if you want to skip from one level to another, you have to act according to the next level. For example, struggle mode में हो, survival mode में आना है अपने, level 0 to level 1 में, start doing the things of level 1, which is watching, reading, learning. If you're already doing that, उससे level 1 से level 2 में start working hard, doing the work, right? Level 2 पे level 3 में start working and understanding the root cause of the problems. Make sense? So you have to work with the level that is above you so that you can be in that level. What do you think is the number one reason why spiritual people fail to get results? I told you in the beginning that we'll be discussing that, right? It's like your spiritual life is like a remedy.
Struggle
आप
for
remedy कर रहे हो, पानी डाल रहे हो उसके ऊपर. For example, this water that I have is अमृत है ये. Imagine कीजिए. And this cup is like my aura. अगर मेरे aura में बहुत सारे aura defects हैं, holes हैं, tears हैं, फटा हुआ aura में मेरा cup मेरा टूटा हुआ है. If I keep on pouring the water, is it water's fault that it's not able to stay in my life? Is it water's fault or cup's fault? ये बताइए. What do you think? Cup is the problem or is it the water? Water is like the remedies that we do. Astrological, religious, mantra chanting, healing, therapy, जो भी आप कर रहे हो रेमेडी पानी की तरह है. कप जो है वो आपकी खुद की एनर्जी है. द एनर्जी दैट इज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर इट टू स्टोर द एनर्जी सो दैट यू कैन गेट द रिजल्ट्स. दैट्स एग्जैक्टली व्हाट हैपेंस इफ पीपल डोंट गेट द रिजल्ट. दे ब्लेम द रेमेडी कि एस्ट्रोलॉजी बकवास है जी, न्यूमरोलॉजी बकवास है, ऑरा हीलिंग बकवास है. They don't realize that it's their own aura which is broken. So that is the reason why you're not able to get the result of the remedies. Make sense? Most people talk about, yes, exactly, Alvin. They believe so blindly that they enjoy the suffering thing. God wanted them to suffer. God wanted you to get the Amrit, my friends. But if your cup is broken, you need to first heal that. That's exactly what we talk about. In this, I'm not going to say कि आप ये मत कीजिए, वो मत कीजिए. मैं कह रहा हूँ सब कुछ करना कीजिए. Whatever you want to do in life, you do that. But you first understand this is the root cause of the problem. आपका cup broken है. So this modality helps you understand the root cause of the problem, which is very much like repairing your cup. Once the cup is repaired, if I put little water, it is going to stay for maybe the next 10 days, 1 month, 10 years. Cup should be repaired. That is what your job is. To understand why you have the problems, there are certain aura defects that we have, leaks and holes, tears and scars. Parasitic cords are very much like this invisible cord which is connecting you, holding you back in life. Chakra blocks होते हैं, psychic attacks होते हैं. Psychic attacks very much like this shadow. You don't know where the energy is coming from, but it's being a negative shadow on you. Evil eye जिसको कहते हैं. Karmic blocks होते हैं. When you keep on repeating the same things again and again in life, you create a pattern around that. Right? If you have excessive spiritual energy, that's also a problem. What is excessive spiritual energy? If there's a plant, imagine there's a plant, water nourishes the plant. But if I have a lot of water in the plant with no outlet, what will it do to the plant? Will the plant survive? No, it will kill the plant. It will rot the roots. It will destroy. The same energy, if you cannot handle it, is going to destroy your energy system. That's exactly what spiritual people don't understand, that so much spirituality sometimes it's fatal for their own health because they do not have grounding. वो निकाल नहीं पा रहे, channel नहीं कर पा रहे energies को. They keep on raising the energy again and again. Then they have so many issues. Mental health issues as well comes in because the body is not able to adjust to the frequency and they become so vulnerable to energy. It is very much like एक balloon को आपने बहुत फैला दिया है to the highest capacity. A simplest prick can just burst the balloon. That's exactly why some spiritual people have the most fragile ego. I've said it. I don't want to say it, but that's the truth. Makes sense? Are you able to see some ultra spiritual people in your life who might have a lot of issues with, controlling or being able to adjust with the frequencies? Right? So don't use spirituality as an escape. Is कुछ negative. Talking about money or finances or relationship is negative. No, it's not negative. It is a spectrum that you have to live your life. So you have to understand both the things, spirituality and finances, both, right?
Spiritual energy here.
So working on the root cause is very much like a permanent solution. If you keep on doing healing work for a psychological problem, healing work for a physical health problem, healing work for something without repairing your cup, it is very much like putting a bandit on the problem. One day the flow is going to increase, the problem is going to increase, the bandit is going to fall away. Simple. All remedies are like a temporary relief till the time you don't repair the cup. If you understand that my cup is broken, then you first figure out the root cause. Which one do you want? TR, temporary relief, or permanent solution, PS? In the chat box. Which one do you think that you need? Anyone who says TR, let me know. Otherwise, Baki sir, I'm sorry. I'm sure intelligent people in the group, they say PS. Perfect. Great. And let me show you an example. Some people was asking about this. Instant results. Milte hain kya? This is the root cause. This is a video to help you understand. This lady was suffering from knee pain for such a long time. She's gone to Ayurveda Acharya, doctors and everything, a lot of things. She was eating the medicine, but the cup was broken. So now in this workshop, she understood what the cup was broken, for what reason, and she did a simple remedy. Now look at her own feedback.
Hi, Nishant. Thank you so much for the yesterday's wonderful Aura workshop class. The simple tips that were given were really